Hi friends, I thought we'd bring you into the chicken coop today and show you some of the supplies that we used when we brought the little chicks home. And I hope that this helps you so that if you want to do this, you might have a little information that'll make it easier for you. The first thing we did is when we got the little chicks home is we put a packet of Save a Chick electrolytes in a gallon of water because they could have been 3 days since they hatched and they may be a little dehydrated coming through the mail. So we put this in their water and made sure they had plenty of this for the first 24 hours. After the first 24 hours, we refresh their water a little splash of apple cider vinegar in it, and that helps their immune systems. They're just 3 days old, so they're kind of weak, and we want to make sure that they grow up to be big, strong hens. I also set up a guinea pig cage. Now, I found this at a local um, resale shop, so it wasn't very expensive at all. And this fits perfectly into my bathtub. And all I did is I put this paper bedding instead of pine shavings because I'd heard bad things about pine shavings or some warnings about pine shavings. I decided to use paper bedding because it's so much softer and the chicks really seem to enjoy it. And every day I would put a new layer, just a light layer, on top of their bedding to keep it dry for them each day. And then I would change it out completely once a week. Of course, anytime you're handling the little chicks, you want to be sure to use hand sanitizers. That way you can keep everything as clean as possible and not pass anything along to the chicks or pass anything along to you. Another thing that we did is we got nest box herbs. And this is a little potpourri type herb package, and you just sprinkle it on the bedding each day, and it helps keep the odor down. And it smells so good. I want to use it in my house. I don't want to just use it in the chicken brooder, but this is really good, and it just smells like an herbal tea. It smells yummy. I highly recommend this. Then, after they're a week old, we put some chick grit for them to be able to eat. And don't worry, the first time you give it to them, if they eat everything, it's okay. It's new and they're curious and they just love it. So don't worry so much. But I put it in a terracotta saucer and they have a great time scratching and digging in it. So I hope that that's helpful to you. You don't need to go buy a special feeder for that. Please educate yourself on chicken husbandry. This is a very important thing for you to do if you're going to be a chicken keeper or a chicken tender. So the first week, I put stones in the water reservoir here so that the little chicks wouldn't drown. So that'll be important for you to do. But now they're big enough that we don't have to worry about that. This is the little feeder that we got. Chickens are attracted to red. So having a red feeder is, I think, a very positive thing. They love to eat in this. They can put their little beaks in here, and there's so many different portals for them to get their food. They really seem to enjoy this. Another thing that we used was an ostrich feather duster. The chicks really enjoyed this, and what I did is I hung it upside down, and they would go under it and they would feel like that was their mom. So that gave them a little sense of security, and I think it kept them warm too. So this was a big hit for the chicks. Another useful tip is I'm going to be able to use this little brooder as a sick pen, as an isolation crate. in case one of the little chicks gets sick. So this will be a nice home for them to stay in until they can graduate and get back home to their sisters. One of the fun things we did with the chicks is we would get a little throw, just one of the ones you can get at the Dollar Tree, and we put this little critter corral. It's used for guinea pigs, it's used for hamsters and any other kind of small animals. And as you can see, they really love playing on it. They like perching on it, and it gave them a little different change of scenery. So they really enjoy that. And it was a lot of fun to take them different places and just see how they react. One of their favorite games is playing with ribbon. I had this little thin ribbon and I would tie it to the top of their brooder. See if I can get her to play with it. You want to play? No? Okay. They're playing with that one over there. So we found out that they really like a mirror. We had one that would sit in front of the mirror all the time. I would go check on her, and she was always standing in front of the mirror. Another thing that we enjoyed giving to the little chicks is we would just tie long ribbons on the top of the cage, and they would come along and they would untie it, and they just loved that. We got them a cardboard box, which is the favorite toy of any child, as you know. We got them a jingle ball. We got them some logs to perch on so that they can feel like they're all grown up. We built a platform to elevate the water and the food so that they didn't kick shavings in their food or their water, and it stays fresher. This is the terracotta saucer that I put their grit in. And of course, I also gave them a little inspiration. This can be converted into a compost sifter when we're finished with it in the brooder. So little sister here says, I hope you'll join us again and follow us along on this journey. Bye, friends. Say bye. Can you say bye? Say bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye.